Sugar Regulatory Administration Chief Hermenegildo Serafica has resigned following the controversy surrounding the unauthorized importation order for 300,000 metric tons of sugar. The House Committee on Suffrage and Electoral Reforms has voted to postpone the barangay and SK elections to next year. The Procurement Service of the Budget Department has suspended the purchase of non-common supplies and equipment. This is after the Commission on Audit flagged the outdated and overpriced laptops that were procured for the Education Department. And the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention puts the Philippines in its list of countries that are high risk for COVID-19. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Sean Yao. A House panel has approved the postponement of the barangay and SK elections in order to save funds. But the COMELEC says postponing the elections still means added costs. Greg Gregorio with the details.
The House Committee on Suffrage and Electoral Reforms has approved more than 30 bills seeking to postpone the barangay and SK elections in December. Lawmakers want to reallocate the supposed 8.4 billion peso budget for the polls to the government's COVID-19 and disaster response, as well as measures to economic recovery.
By postponing this barangay and SK elections this year, the government will be saving about 8+ billion pesos, which can be used for priority programs such as agriculture and the like.
The measure is also supported by the Liga ng mga Barangay and League of the Municipalities in the Philippines. The House panel also approved to have the BSK elections on December 2023. Soon-to-be elected officials will also begin 3-year terms on January 2024. But the COMELEC says rescheduling the local polls would require an even bigger budget. COMELEC Chairman George Garcia said the postponement would mean an extension of voters' registration, and more registered voters would entail an additional cost of about 5 billion pesos.
Because of the additional number of voters, we will create additional precincts. And because of the additional precincts, we'll be hiring additional poll workers, 3 poll workers per precinct. And because we'll be hiring additional poll workers, we'll be giving them additional honoraria.
There's also the added cost of printing of ballots and other forms, and the need for additional ballpens and indelible inks, among others. With this, the COMELEC remains firm in its stance to push through with the December elections. Election watchdogs and some lawmakers are also backing the poll body.
Ilang beses na nating ipinostpone yung election, Mr. Chair, that tantamount to depriving the people of their right to vote.
The COMELEC says it will continue to prepare for the elections while waiting for a law approving its postponement for next year. For News 5, Greg Gregorio, we are One News.
And the Education Department says it is considering to help out the teachers of the troubled Colegio de San Lorenzo. In a public briefing, DepEd spokesperson Michael Poa said teachers employed in private schools are usually entitled to separation pay. The school in Quezon City suddenly announced it is shutting down for good, catching the DepEd off guard.
Pag meron pong mga nagpo-voluntary closure ng mga schools, ang makukuha po ng mga teachers, they are entitled to separation pay from these private institutions.
Meanwhile, the Commission on Higher Education also raised concerns about the abrupt closure of Colegio de San Lorenzo. CHED Chairman Prospero de Vera III said they will launch a probe to determine the school's possible violations.
The fees have been paid, and then arbitrarily you just say, we are not going to provide you education anymore. So this is rather alarming. We will investigate this further.
One News Now will be back with more stories after this short break. Keep it here. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. One member of the Sugar Regulatory Board is defending the unauthorized sugar import order that was previously issued by the agency. Shaila Francisco with the report.
These are the 4 signatories of Sugar Order Number 4, which would have allowed the importation of 300,000 metric tons of sugar, a resolution which the palace said is not authorized by President Bongbong Marcos. Leocadio Sebastian, who served as Agriculture Undersecretary, was the first to publicize his resignation amid the investigation. Sugar Regulatory Administration Board member Roland Beltran also resigned but cited health reasons. On Monday, Malacanang also accepted the resignation of former SRA Administrator Hermenegildo Serafica. But for the Samahang Industriya and Agrikultura, they are still not off the hook.
Para malaman natin bakit basta-basta sila nag-decide and parang may connivance na nangyari. At that point, dapat kung walang malis yung ginawa niya, dapat pinaalam niya kay Presidente. Hindi naman niya minention yun. Di ba? So, ibig sabihin, may tinatago.
Senate President Juan Miguel Zubiri is also urging the Blue Ribbon Committee to investigate the matter.
My dear colleagues, we were not born yesterday. I think most of us know that importation is a lucrative business. Hindi ko sinasabi, may nakatanggap, hindi ko sinasabi, kung meron man gumawa nitong scheme na to. But it is possible. Why are they pushing? The question begs to be answered. Why are they pushing for importation?
However, acting SRA board member Aurelio Valderrama Jr. defended the import order. He said it is based on facts and underwent consultations among industry stakeholders. Valderrama added that the board acted as mandated following deliberations consistent with the president's requests. He noted, though, that he supports the ongoing investigation so that they may clear their name. Shaila Francisco, we are One News.
Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. The U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention has added the Philippines to its list of countries that are high risk for COVID-19. Travelers who are not up to date with their COVID-19 vaccinations are discouraged from going to the Philippines. The Budget Department's procurement service has suspended purchases of non-common use supplies and equipment such as office supplies. This is after the Commission on Audit flagged the purchase of outdated and overpriced laptops for the Education Department. Senator Raffy Tulfo is suggesting to legalize ukay-ukay or imported used garments by taxing the products. Tulfo made this proposal, citing the supposed failure of the Bureau of Customs to control the volume of ukay products going into the country. For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News Live anytime, anywhere. Masks on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I am Sean Yao. We are One News.